Hello, I'm Jean Stoner from the Career Experts Group. I'm a certified resume and LinkedIn storyteller. And today we're talking about job search strategy, targeting and prioritizing companies with AI prompts. Let's talk about the Career Experts Group. We're an offshoot of a network of career master practitioners and personal branding strategists. We share one mission to guide and support individuals at all stages of their career journeys, from new college grad to C suite executives. Each member of the Career Expert Group is passionate about helping you get to work on your career. We've got you covered no matter where you are in your career journey. So, the learning goals today, we're going to talk about common job search mistakes, the value of referrals, learn best practices from a lamp list documented in this wonderful book called The 2 Hour Job Search. We're going to teach you how to target 40 companies using some cool AI prompts, understand how to prioritize this list of companies, and find useful resources. So let's talk about the common job search mistake. Just take a look at this picture of this job applicant, client, frustrated, angry, losing confidence, been in the job search for 4 months. I've applied for 100 jobs with 0 interviews. This is what we call the black hole. And the whole purpose of this presentation is to get you out of that black hole or to teach you how to avoid the black hole through a job search strategy that we're presenting today. So, what is the goal of all this work we're showing? It's all about getting referrals. And why is that important? Because 88% of employers rate employee referral programs as the best source of applicants, and employee referrals account for 30 to 50% of all hires. So, the goal is to try to get referrals into your target list of companies, your top 5, your top 10 companies where you would really love to work. So, how do you learn this process? There's a wonderful book, The 2 Hour Job Search, written by Steve Dalton, all about best practices. And the whole strategy focuses on using a scientific approach. And if for those of you who, like me, who come from quality backgrounds, you're very familiar with this tool called the Pareto principle, 80/20. So 80% of your time, you get a return on investment. Vital few versus trivial many. Focus on the vital few problems versus the trivial many, and you'll overcome your roadblocks to success. So it begins with the 2 hour job search. We call this the lamp list process taught by Steve Dalton. It's so beginning with create a target list of companies, ideally 40. Find advocates, rate your motivation. Do you want to work for them? Find and rate the job postings, and then prioritize this list. We're going to walk you through each step of the process. So think about time. Remember, it's all about return on your investment. So 70 minutes as you start your job search strategy, you're going to create your target list. You're going to check for advocates if you know anybody at those companies. You're going to rate your motivation and you're going to find and rate job postings. So targeting companies, how do you begin this process? Well, now that we have this fantastic tool called perplexity.ai, it's a free research tool. If you've never used it, we're going to have you use it today. And we're going to put a variety of prompts in AI to try to build this target list of companies. So I'm going to get out of the presentation mode here. Give me a moment to set up. I'm going to go into Perplexity AI. Okay. So I'm going just to my browser, typing in the word Perplexity AI. Hang on a moment, Perplexity AI, here I am. And I'm going to put into Perplexity this really interesting prompt. I'm looking for a wide net of companies, ideal companies. So here we go. Give me a list of 40 ideal companies to work for near Chicago. I'm looking for roles in the tech industry. I'm interested in larger firms to start us, so I'm putting that wide net out there. I don't care what size it is at this point. Give me a description of each size, headquarters in location in Chicago. I want to know where it is, and revenue. Um, I'm just going to add a little bit more to the prompt just so it understands what I'm looking for. So within 60 seconds, you'll be blown away. Here you see we're getting, starting with the big ones, right? Then we're getting established companies. Then we're getting fast growing startups, which is super cool because I'm not sure if I want to work small to large. I want to consider all options at this point in time. So here I have a lot of great data, but it's kind of scattered and I want it to be more organized. And so I'm going to say, can you organize this list into a table or Excel spreadsheet. I don't think it can do Excel spreadsheet, but I'm curious. I'm going to ask it. Let's just see how it organizes the information. I'm trying to get my arms around it so it's easier. So it's giving me a beautiful table, starting large down to small. So I'm getting company size, location. I love that location because I'm in the suburbs. So I'm looking for companies ideally that are not downtown. I'd like to work in the suburbs if possible. The revenue and then the description of each grade because I'm not familiar with all these companies. So it's interesting to see what they're all about. So now I'm starting with this ideal list of companies that I want to work for, but then I'm going to switch it up a bit. I'm going to put in a different prompt. I want to see affinity employers, meaning who at your company works there that's kind of like me. So the way we do that as we go back into AI, we're trying to expand our list because remember the goal is 40 companies. So here, give me a list of companies that employ people like me. I went to Loyola University with an MA in Human Resource Management. I have 20 years plus in the tech industry. They're all I'm looking for is, let's say, director of training and development. I spent many years in that space. So let's see what kind of companies pop up now that are better matches for me, that might be better matches for me because they have folks that are similar to my background, hire people like me. So here I'm getting this really cool list, the company, the industry, the role I'm targeting, known for hiring HR, Loyola connections. Yes, yes, yes. Look at all that. Interesting. And then notes is telling me that there are some jobs at the company. See how cool that is? There actually is a job at these companies, and it's giving me the link to those jobs. So let's just for fun click on one of these jobs, see what that's all about, see if that job is real. Yeah, shows the world. There's the job, Director of Learning and Development, an exact match for what I'm needing. So remember how we talked about wanting to prioritize companies. This is a quick way of doing it. Okay, we're going to check for job postings and say yes or no. Do they have a job posting? And right away in this analysis, you can see they have job postings or similar postings, and you can begin to rate those companies based on postings. It's amazing. Okay, let me do this one here. The next one I want to know, again, I'm trying to get this long list of companies. I want to know if they're hiring. Are they actively hiring, right? So here's my prompt 3. I'm putting into AI, into Perplexity AI. I'm saying actively hiring employers. Give me a list of actively hiring employer near Chicago. I'm looking for the tech industry. I'm looking for a director of training and development. So here it's going to really target me to companies that are hiring folks for that role. And here, look at how cool that is. It's giving me exact links to jobs at these companies instantaneously. So let me just click on one just so you can see at this company, this one, this pharmaceutical company. I'm not really interested in pharmaceutical. I want to stay in tech. But here, this one, iRhythms Technologies, never heard of that company, has a director of training and development. Instantaneously, you can find opportunities and then you can analyze these companies and decide if you want to focus on them as part of your target list. The last prompt I want to demonstrate for you is let's see what we got here. I want to see what's trending. I might want to work for a company that's in the AI space because it's so hot right now. And so I'm just going to ask it about trending companies. And you may know trending companies because as you read your industry news, you might find companies that capture your attention. So make sure you add them to your target list. So here I'm just asking, give me a list of trending companies near Chicago. I'm interested in the trending topic of AI. So I want to know what companies in Chicago are really leading the way in this whole AI space. So I'm getting some interesting new companies I've never seen before. I'm not really familiar with them. They're kind of small, they're startups. But it's telling me for these AI companies like Qualtrics, there's a job here. Now, that not the kind of job I'm looking. It's confused. It's think I'm looking for an AI job. So I'll have to play around with that prompt a little bit. But certainly here you got some very interesting AI companies if you want to focus on a trending topic. So the bottom line is just play around with the prompts. These prompts are really, really helpful. The goal is to get a target list of companies. So I'm going to go back to the slide presentation. And what you see is I grabbed an output from Perplexity that I thought would be really helpful for me to get started. This one, it lists the company, the description, the size, the headquarters, and the revenue of that company. And that's exactly the data I needed. So what I did is I put it into an Excel spreadsheet, which you see here. And on the right, I left room for more. Okay, I want to rate these companies. I want to know if I got advocates there. I want to decide if I'm motivated to work there, and I want to know if there's job postings. So I'm going to go and do some analysis. So um, the next step of the phase is to see if there's advocates or people I can find that I would feel comfortable reaching out to learn more about the company. And so if you at this point in the process says this is overwhelming, I can't do it, just step back and remember what the LinkedIn mission is. The mission of this company is to connect the world's professionals to make them more productive and successful. So reaching out to strangers is acceptable in LinkedIn, and you won't get 100% response rate, but you might get 20 to 40% response rate, which is more than what you get on a job posting board, which is a 6% response rate if you're lucky. So advocates, who are they? They're insiders who hopefully will get that referral you into a role. You find them by targeting companies and you focus on warming up the relationship. It's all about them, their success, their experiences. It's not about you because you're trying to make a friend. You're not trying to sell yourself. So how do you find these advocates? And you really are trying to say yes or no. Do I know somebody at the company? Do I know alum there? Can I find a recruiter I could maybe chat it up with? Can I find a contact maybe a couple levels up from where I want to be that I might ask for a career conversation? So this is the time to do a demo, and I'm gonna do this demo using a company on my spreadsheet. I'm gonna go back to the spreadsheet. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna go down and I see that the ServiceNow is a company that I may have an interest in. So let me go use that for this demonstration. So this is when LinkedIn becomes your best friend. I don't know what we would do honestly without LinkedIn because it enables you to network so easily. So first of all, I'm going to go into the search bar and I want to follow ServiceNow because it's a potential company that I'm targeting. And as you can see, I'm following it. And the first thing you want to do is you want to look right above that. It's going to tell you if you know anybody there or if any alum are here. And here it's telling me 14 people from my school were hired here. So I'm going to pop that open and I'm going to start looking at this list. Now, it's been a long time that I got my master's degree, but I'm going to look at this list and I'm going to say, is there anybody in training and development on this list? A lot of engineers, but oh, this Tony Vaughn, Learning Development Leader at ServiceNow. What a perfect find, okay? Because we went to the same university, we have the same interest, learning and development. He is my potential friend at ServiceNow that I am going to reach out to and ask for a career conversation. So I would say yes. So when I'm filling out that ServiceNow, that spreadsheet, do I have an advocate? I think I do. I think it's Tony Vaughn, and I'm actually going to document somewhere ServiceNow and Tony Vaughn so I can know to come back to this individual. Okay, so now let's say that I didn't have any alum at ServiceNow and I wanted to look for people. I want to see if there's any potential other people I could reach out to here. I'm going to go put in here in the search bar, recruiters. Sometimes people can chat it up with a recruiter. If you're very talented, recruiters are looking to speed up the speed of hire. So they might talk to you. Not all of them, but some of them may if you're a good candidate, if they have job postings for what you're looking for. So here, Brock McIyer, he's a senior recruiter with ServiceNow. So he's probably my person because I'm going for a pretty senior level job. You see the sales recruiter, you just kind of troll around and you look to see who the best match is for you. And you can document them that Brock may be an advocate for me to help me get into ServiceNow. And the last thing I want to check about for advocates under people is I want to be a training and development director. So can I find a VP of training and development? Because possibly if I get gutsy, I'll reach out to her and see if she would have a conversation with me over time. So I'm looking for the VP because I'm looking for one level up. So this could potentially be my boss. And I'm finding the VP of people, strategic L&D leader, learning and development leader. Tiara may be my person. Okay. So if I have something to offer Tiara, like a best practice in training and development, I may say to Tiara, I may reach out and say, Tiara, I'd love to have a career conversation with you, hear about your success at ServiceNow, and share with you best practice that if you have any interest, if there's any best practices you'd like to know about in training development from my perspective, be glad to share them with you. So that's a great way to open the door to an advocate that you don't know. But right now, remember, we're just trying to find people. Do we have advocates, potential people we can reach out to? The answer is yes or no on the spreadsheet. And in this example, the answer is absolutely yes. And so then while we're here, let's click on jobs, because in the spreadsheet, I want to know, do they have jobs? Do they have jobs? I'm looking for a director of training and development in Chicago. And so let's see see if they have one. And so here I find this is in Austin, Texas. So I would say, yeah, they have jobs, but it's not a good match. It's not a perfect match because it's not in my location. So maybe I would rate this company a 2, not a 3. But they do have job openings. So it's not a 1, it's not a 0. Okay. So there's a lot you can do here in terms of finding people, finding advocates, finding jobs, just by playing around with LinkedIn. So let me get back to the presentation here and show you what we do next. Okay. So so um, we've looked for advocates. I've just done that demonstration. We've looked for postings. So what are we going to do? We're going to summarize our findings in our spreadsheet. We're going to log postings as a 1. There's no postings. A 2, yeah, there's postings, but not exactly what we want, which is from ServiceNow. The job was in Austin. And 3 is it's a perfect match. We're going to then rank each company. Am I interested? A 1, I have no interest. A 2, I may be interested. A 3, it's an ideal place to work. And again, if you need more information about motivation, just go back to Perplexity. Okay, we're going to go back to Perplexity AI, and we're going to ask it, tell me more about ServiceNow. Is it financially doing well? Do people like to work there? And let's see what we get. And all of a sudden, you're going to get some great data about the company that will help you decide if you're motivated, 1, 2, or 3. And so here it's giving you some great data. The stock price is going down. That's problematic. Giving you an overview of the financials. It's giving you an overview of the employee experience. 85% leave positive reviews. You can click more to get more information. This is a fantastic way to do a deep dive in a company and decide if you want to continue focusing on that and making it a priority for your job search strategy. Super amazing. Saves you a ton of time. Okay, now what do we do? So now we're gonna finish our spreadsheet. You can see in this example, go to the right. Do I have advocates at these companies? Yes or no? Am I motivated to work there? 3, 2, 1. Do they have job postings? 3, 2, 1. Now I have this spreadsheet. Now I can prioritize it. So what you do here is you can either sort it if you're a good Excel user, or you can copy the spreadsheet into ChatGPT or your favorite AI tool and ask it to prioritize the list based on, do I have advocates there? Is my motivation a 2 or a 3? Do they have job postings? 3. And here you see you get a prioritized list. Oops, sorry about that. You get a prioritized list of companies that become now your target list of companies that you're going to focus on to move forward in the next step, which is reaching out to advocates, trying to ask for career conversations, and trying to warm up relationships so you can eventually get referred in. So, so you have now a prioritized list, and what's next? Now it's time to contact these advocates at targeted companies. So we're going to have a follow-up video coming in October to show you how to message people at your targeted list of companies. So useful resources. We have this wonderful AI prompt guide. We're going to add some AI prompts to the guide. So go to our resource library and careerexpertsgroup.com to find this great AI resource. I want to thank you about spending the time to learn how to create a job search strategy to avoid that black hole by targeting and prioritizing companies. And I want to quote Steve Dalton, who's the inspiration of this process, has been using it for 20 years. It's his recipe of success. If you follow this step by step, you're going to have great momentum. And his thought process is eventually this process will become as routine as brushing your teeth or watching your favorite movie for the 100th time. But unlike those activities, each new iteration of the 2-hour job search offers the potential to fundamentally change your life. And that's our goal. We want to change your job search strategy to open the door to interviews as quickly as possible. Thank you for your participation.